The voice you're hearing right now is Jerome Zander, and in this video, I'm going to be giving my two dogs a friendly competition by giving them a few tasks and challenges to complete. The first competitor is Dusk. She's the black lab on the left. She's 2 years old. And the second competitor is Brie, the yellow lab on the right, and she is 10 years old. Remember, this is a friendly competition with friendly results because I'm UnityZan for Unity Stands. This is a chart to keep track of all the various scores the dogs obtain through the challenges and how we're going to determine which dog is the winner. The first game is the Cup Challenge, a total of 3 rounds. Each round gets progressively harder as they go on. The first competitor up is Dusk, Team Pink. The goal of the game is for the dog to guess the correct cup which the food is under, and for us viewers, the food is always going to be under the polka dotted cup. Since Dusk got the correct cup on her first try, she got a 100. Now, let's get ready for round 2. This round is a little bit harder because she has to guess between 3 different cups. Let's mix them around and let her guess. She got the correct cup on her second try, so she has a 65%. Now, let's go on to round 3. This round is even harder because Dusk has to guess between 4 cups. Let's mix it around. That sound is beautiful. Dusk got the correct cup on her last try. She has a 25%. Let's go on to the next competitor, Brie, Team Blue. For round 1, Brie gets the correct cup on her first try, a 100%. Why did I mix it for so long? Brie gets the correct cup on her last try. She gets a 35%. Brie gets the correct cup on her second try. She has a 50%. Let's calculate the scores. On the first round, Dusk got a 100, then a 65, and then a 25. As for Brie, on the first round, she got a 100, then a 35, and then a 50. When we average the scores up, Dusk wins. The next challenge is what the Fluff Challenge. This is where you drop the blanket for the dog's reaction. And Brie is not impressed. As for Dusk, she doesn't really have a reaction, but she's awfully curious. Let's tally up the scores. The scores are kind of backwards, so the dog that had the smallest reaction wins, and the dog that was the least curious wins. When we average the score up, Team Blue wins. The next game is the Egg Challenge. We are judging the dogs based on how well they cradle their eggs, and to see how little their egg breaks, shatters, or cracks. And Dusk does very well during this challenge. She doesn't chomp down and break her egg. She just holds it. And at some point, she does start licking the egg in her mouth, like her tongue, like that. She's a very good dog. But now she's going to drop her egg, and when it does drop, there's a small crack, so she gets a small deduction. I forget to show the camera the crack, but you just have to believe me. The next competitor is Brie, Team Blue. She is not even interested in the egg. She'll lick it and sniff it, but she leaves it alone. I even try switching out with Dusk's egg, and still she won't take it. In a few seconds, you'll hear me pretend to eat Brie's egg, and it creates a very nasty sound. So, shh. Nasty. Alright, for grading, Dusk cradled her egg very well, it's 100, but her egg did break, so it's a 50. Brie never even picked up her egg, so it's a 0. and her egg never broke, so it's 100. And their averages come out, so Dusk wins the challenge. The next game is probably my favorite. We're going to be playing hide and seek. For both dogs, I'm hiding in this little corner behind the couch, and the dogs are judged based on how fast their time is and how long it actually takes them to see me in my hiding place. And Dusk is pretty quick, and she gets a good score. Ooh, that probably hurt her. She's okay now. And now it's Brie's turn. Brie walks to find me, so her time is not as fast. And it takes longer her to actually find me in my hiding spot. But eventually she does see me right now. And then she finds me. For the next game, we're playing hide and seek again, but outside this time. For both dogs, I hide behind the corner of the house, and I call the dogs. Dusk's time is very fast. She runs and finds me, but she tries to find me on the deck. And eventually, once I call her again, she finds me behind the house. But when she leaves the deck, she jumps off. And then she finds me. And as for Brie, I hide in the same spot, and I call her. She is not as fast. She starts out running, and then she goes into like a trot. But she finds me right away this time. So she gets a good grade. And as for grading, the dogs are based on how quickly they actually find me and how many times they look for me in a certain hiding spot. For example, Dusk looked for me twice in the outside tournament, and when their averages come out, Dusk wins. The next game is a 3-round obstacle course. The dogs are judged based on what % of the markers are still standing. And the first dog up is Dusk, Team Pink. Dusk knocks over 2 out of the 22 markers, a 90%. Next up is Brie. She knocks over 1 out of the 22 markers, a 95. Round 2 is a little bit harder, a total of 44 markers. Brie is up first, and she knocks over 3 out of the 44 markers, a 95. And Dusk knocks over none of them, a 100. The third round is the hardest, a total of 66 markers. And first up is Dusk. She knocks over 2, a 95, and Brie knocks over 5, a 90. Now we can tally up all their scores together from all 3 rounds, and Dusk's average comes out to a 95, and so does Brie's. So they both tie this round. When we average all their scores from all the previous rounds together, we can determine the winner. Dusk's total average is an 80 and Brie's is 76, so Dusk wins. But if you round to 76, you get an 80, so technically they both win. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. If you have any suggestions for future videos, please leave it in the comments section below, because I'm UnityZan, where Unity stands.